Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. That's my excitement level. We're going to do this thing. Look, hey, we're going to do all this other stuff real quick. I want to get into it real fast. So let's do that because why not? And you guys expect it and whatever. I'll be right back.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charlie from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
Your business will make you money if you do well at that business. And ES Advantage in trucking, they do really well at providing those services. So the effect that ES has had on our personal trucking operations, not even talking about what we do on the consulting arena, I've been able to save thousands of dollars a year in fuel because of the relationship with them. I have a new accountant that I work with, trucker CFO, that I learned about from ES Advantage.
They're giving you that 10,000 yard kind of support from behind that creates a way for you to succeed, which is one of the things that we love, because anything you can do to help someone succeed is going to help them succeed. They make money by making sure you make money.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Yeah. Get connected today. I'm sober. Don't even think I'm not. I'm just saying, because I don't drink anymore. Whatever. Jeff, what's going on, man? That guy.
I don't believe you.
There's no alcohol in my system, that I assure you. Caffeine, Cafe Bustelo. Just saying. People in prison. So, Matt, you got to come tell this story somehow. I don't even know, but whatever, bro. Because you talk about people ending up in jail, and I'm just saying there's a story to be told.
I know that you have a link to get on the show live, Matt. I know this for a fact.
Right. If you are not moving, which you may or may not be, I don't know. Just saying. Yeah. Wow. People in prison. People's got arrested, he said. Oh, I don't even know where to go with that.
It's a thing. I mean, that's people go to jail every day, man.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Jeff.
You ever think of all the stuff, right? That you hear about, that you don't personally ever see? I mean, not to be too morbid, but how many people get carted off for smacking their old lady?
Right.
I've never done that, so it's never happened to me. This is the one that's always boggled my mind, and I talk about this with my kids because we're all like, yeah, that's weird. Out of every single day, a certain percentage of the population dies. Just dies, right?
Right.
And it's kind of significant when you look at how many people it is.
Right.
And yet, I've maybe seen 2 or 3 people die in my life. Is that weird or what? It's almost like maybe someone's trying to protect us from that grief and that angst. Unless you're, certain people that just seem to be certain places at certain times, I guess. Yes. Or you're a first responder. They see that stuff all the time, but it is kind of weird, right?
Yeah. It's definitely been something. Craig said, hello, people. He was number 1. And Wimpy, of course, was number 2 with his cheery, upbeat self right there. I'm just saying. Chris came in at second or third, rather. Excuse me. I don't know how to count, but whatever. And then
he's
who
got you,
else
man.
coming around? Oh, Trucker Tim's here. Oh, he's going to catch us on the replay. He popped in before the show. Hey, Donna. Good to see you again today. Not that I see you, but I saw you earlier. I'm just saying, whatever. That's not strange. That's Matt. Happy New Year, he said. Oh,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Life on 18 Wheels. What's going on, man? I just said Happy New Year, folks. Army King, what's going on? DJ Bolin, Happy New Year, brother. Lisa, hello. Good to see you. Yeah, so like a safety breeze. Wait. I gotta catch up. Road Warrior rum, vodka, and whiskey, 3-pack. Jeez.
Okay.
I can't do vodka. I hate it. I don't know why. Army King, like a safety brief, do add to the population and don't subtract from the population. That's legit right there. That's a straight up Army brief. Although I'm going to tell you, they were telling me don't add, don't subtract.
I think that's what he meant.
Okay. Oh man, whatever though. But it's been fun. So I'm kind of glad that we're wrapping the damn new year, or the old year up, because I've about had it with 24. I ain't gonna lie. It's not been a pleasant one in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it had its ups and downs. Don't get me wrong, and I'm happy for the good things. But man, some of the downs were just a mother this year.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
It's been something. Oh wait, quick business, just to ruin everybody's brain again, because I threw quick business at the beginning of last week's show, where I said, "Oh, you have to file the BOI reporting thing again." Well, update this week again. Once again, you don't need to. There is yet another injunction in place. I've read arguments on both sides. I got to tell you, both sides arguments make sense to me. And at this point, I don't care either way it goes. I just need it to be settled.
So, you know where I fall on this, Charlie?
Right.
Just get it done. We've seen this before. It could be years down the road.
Right.
Chances are the government is going to win out. Right? Chances are, because they're going to pull the Patriot Act type thing, right? We're just trying to protect the citizenry. And then they're going to change the language just enough to where it passes constitutional muster. Just like with other things that we don't necessarily appreciate.
Right.
About, I don't know, flogging.
Flogging.
Right?
Bro, let's bring back flogging. I don't even know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? Flogging?
Flog them. I want to flog people. I'm down with, stocks in this town center.
Okay.
Throwing rotten tomatoes at their face.
It's interesting you say that, because I've been listening to the original version of Starship Troopers.
Nice.
And that's a thing in that book.
I think it's
legit. The flogging.
Public humiliation works. I don't care what anybody says.
So there are judges that do that.
I love it. Old what's his name? That dude in Arizona. He was psycho, but I love that he had people on a chain gang wearing pink stripes, walking down the road, breaking rocks, picking up trash, living in tents and eating on peanut butter or bologna sandwiches. I was like, there you go. Don't go to jail.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I have a fun conundrum, Jeff. Maybe it's not fun, but it stemmed from a video I saw yesterday, and I thought, that's actually kind of an interesting argument. I challenge anyone to show me in the FMCSR regulations or in a state law somewhere that states commercial truck drivers are required and compelled to assist in a vehicle inspection. Meaning, you get pulled in for an inspection. The inspector says, "Hey, Jeff, I need you to hop up in the seat, turn on your lights, hit your left blinker, hit your right blinker, hit the brake, hold the brakes for me while I check the adjustment on your brakes." I can find no such regulation.
Okay.
I'm baffled by it. I'm actually astonished that it doesn't specifically state that. And the argument is it's compelling you to potentially assist in
Are you saying that are you saying that this is a Fifth Amendment issue?
Yes. It's a compelling argument. I mean, it's stupid. Don't get me wrong. Look.
You know what the consequences are is they're going to say, okay, go sit in that little room while we inspect your truck and don't worry about this whole wrench set I've got under here with me.
But if you think about it at its basis, right?
Yeah.
What's to compel you to assist in your prosecution? There is nothing unless you voluntarily do so.
So I want one of our guys that's about ready to retire, has just had enough, go into an inspection and claim the Fifth where they ask you to do that.
Dude, I saw a couple YouTube videos. Like, it's a thing. I was baffled by it.
Is this kind of like those sovereign citizen guys?
No, these were like legitimate dudes. Well, one of them was a little whatever, but one of them, like, I mean, he legitimately had a solid argument and was articulating it well. And he was just fed up, man. He's just like, he's like, look, I'm not impeding you from performing your inspection, but I am not going to assist you in self-incriminating myself. Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in the law, even with the possession of a CDL. We all know we give up a certain amount of civil liberties when we take on a CDL, such as we're subject to be stopped for absolutely no reason. Whereas the general motoring public, there has to be reasonable, articulable suspicion of some sort of violation one way or another. As commercial driver's license holders, we do not have that stipulation. We can simply be stopped because DOT said, "Hey, bro, I just want to check out the seal on the back of your trailer."
Yep.
And then they can break it, open it up, climb around. They can bring someone out to empty your truck. And there's no recourse whether they find anything or not.
Right.
But there is nothing I can find that compels us to assist in an inspection. And I saw troopers from 2 different states in a couple of videos. They were like, "Bro, I'm not even allowed to operate your truck." Which brings up another question to me. If you're not skilled or trained well enough to perform the functions needed to accommodate your inspection, how are you certified to perform this inspection?
So how many times did you ask that about new officers when you're in the Army? I mean, come on.
I know. But I thought it was an interesting thing, man. And I was like, man. And then I got on and I started reading some old forums, and I'm talking like, 2013 forums, because this thing's been around for a long time.
Back when we still used the word forums.
Right. and I was reading these forum threads, and I'm like, man, it went from great to garbage, right? And everything in between, like they tend to do. And I thought, these are actually, some of these are compelling arguments from one side or the other. And I thought, man, like, I don't know of anybody personally that's ever done this. I kind of want to do it because I think it would be an interesting exercise in constitutional rights. But at the same time,
well, it's like I've always wanted to refuse at the border checkpoints.
Right.
I'm that guy. but
Right.
I'm also that guy that needs to feed his family.
Right.
So you and I have talked about this, Charlie. How great would it be to be that old guy in the Cadillac? And that's the whole reason you're in Texas, is to just mess with those guys because you always wanted to do it, right?
Right.
Now, I will say that I once asked an officer what gave him the right to stop me. And even though he did give me an eye roll, he didn't get pissy. He didn't tell me to pull over to the side or anything. He actually had a little card. And he gave it to me and said, look, just read this. It'll explain,
Right.
do you read legal? Because it's legal. If I have to explain it to you, I will, but this is the deal. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. He's like, all right, get out of here.
Right. No, but that was okay. So back then, when you're talking about that, there was, prior to a certain year, there wasn't the clarification on what they were doing. So it was, challenged in the courts. And then that ruling came down, which backed up its constitutionality and its legitimacy in what they were doing. I still don't agree with it. Whatever, doesn't matter, but I have to accept it, right? And that's fine, whatever. I think it's BS that they can wake up your co-driver just to say, hey, are you a citizen? Even though you asked me and you believe me, and I say my co-driver is a citizen, but you don't believe me for that one.
Right.
And I've had them say, well, I need to see their CDL, or I need to see their license. I need to see their ID. I'm like, oh my God. I had one of my guys way back when I had employees. He literally just threw it at the back of my head because he heard me arguing with him. He's like, here, just give him my damn ID. It was great. It was hilarious, which is really funny because this guy was very kind of meek and quiet normally, but he was so annoyed by me arguing with these guys. And we were at one of those, way out in the middle of absolute nowhere desert land of Texas.
Right.
Like, you're 100 miles from anything alight, and he was just so fed up with me arguing. I'm like, I'm not waking the guy up. And of course I'm waking my guy up because now I'm getting loud because I'm dumb. Sometimes.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not waking up. He's got to sleep. He's got to drive all day, man. You know what? You're trying to kill me? What with that? Oh, it was great. And he ended up throwing the damn thing at me. It was hilarious. But now they did get clarity on that. But I'm curious. I'm really curious about this. So DJ, this is interesting because I actually have some thoughts on part of this. Guy was parked at a truck stop. DOT wanted to do an inspection. Driver refused to help. They called state troopers. I don't think it ended well. The video cut off. So here's the thing. They may have apprehended him and escorted him off. What we don't know is how this was settled in court.
Right.
Because I did see another blurb somewhere else, and I'm reading articles, right? And I can't verify because I don't have access to the court filings and all that stuff. I'm sure if I really dug into it, I could maybe find it, but I haven't. So I'm going off of the articles, and then that's what I'm basing my thoughts on. Okay. But a guy was hauled off for failing to assist, right? He simply refused. They arrested him for obstruction. Now, legal definition of obstruction requires a physical act to hinder law enforcement from doing their job.
Right.
He said, look, the keys are in the ignition, the door is unlocked, have at it, step back, do your thing. And they arrested him for obstruction. A decent lawyer, I believe a half decent lawyer, could beat that case because he did not physically obstruct anyone from performing their duties.
Right.
There was no physical hindrance. It requires a physical act to be obstructive by most states' laws definition.
Well,
right?
You like watching those Audit the Auditor videos.
I love them.
And one of the things they say a lot of times is like, look, yes, you were right. But here's how you handle it.
Right.
Let them arrest you. Get your day in court. Make your argument in court.
Oh, yeah. You got to be committed.
Don't do it on YouTube. The big one that keeps on making the rounds is that dude that wanted to blow the ag station on I-80 going into California, right? And they ended up forcibly extracting him from his vehicle. And the auditor guy was like, look, first of all, you're wrong. and he cited the state statute that allows them to stop you at the ag stations.
Right.
But second of all, if you think you're right, okay, get out of the car, get arrested. That gets you a court date where you could go before a judge and argue your case. As it is now you've got obstruction, you've got failure to yield, you've got all of these charges that have nothing to do with what the guy's original point was. Right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. It is interesting though. I wonder. So is this out there like in the ether, thousands and thousands of views, or is it kind of obscure?
Dude, it was random death scroll that led me to this. I don't even know how it came. You know what I was doing? I was watching audit type videos, and this one popped up in the middle of it. I'm like, how appropriate. I'm a truck driver. I'm an audit guy. I love these things. And I was like, how have I not thought of this? Because I think of weird things all the time, like this kind of stuff. Like, not that I'm trying to annoy people, but I do like to, I love the thought process of challenging or reaffirming constitutionality on things, right?
Right.
I love the Constitution, and I love seeing the battles to either side of a constitutional question. Because I mean, you can find some amazing arguments to either side, whether you agree with them or not.
Right.
You can find some amazing arguments, and you're like, man, that's a thinker there, right? And this one triggered me on this because I was like, huh. What, how? I mean, where's the compulsion? What makes them? Because look, you can take your truck to a shop and walk away, and they'll perform a DOT.
Right.
Right. I was reading some other articles in some forums where guys were talking about, well, to be a mechanic on a diesel in certain locations, I think one of them was Canada, on one of the provinces, and they were talking about it's a requirement for you to have Canada's Class A equivalent, at least a permit, to be able to perform inspections. And I thought it's kind of a neat, I thought it was kind of a neat argument. I'm going to scroll back up to a couple of the other truck and city media. My understanding was if you are off duty, you are allowed to refuse. Maybe I'm being presumptive on this topic. I dipped into that one because it came off as a branch.
Right.
And to the best of my knowledge and what I can find, you absolutely cannot. They can absolutely disturb your brake and disrupt your brake time. There's nothing says that they can't do it. Is it cool? Let's be real. No, it's not. It's about as cool as us not assisting with the inspection.
Right.
I mean, it takes special people to do this stuff. Let's just be real. But it's absolutely a possibility, and they can absolutely.
I'm one of those guys. I'll stay the night at a way station that has truck parking, and I've just never been woken up in the middle of the night and said, "Hey, go to the bay."
Right.
I've been walking to the bathroom, which in some of them is right next to the inspection bay, and they're like, "Hey, man, are you on your 10-hour break?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just going to the bathroom and then I'm going to bed." He's like, "All right, well, look at you." Yeah. I've never had anybody try to impede on my rest, let's say.
Right.
But that would suck if they could really do that, and you've got to go on duty just to move the truck to the bay, even if you're not helping them.
Right.
You got to move the truck to the bay, right?
Yep.
That's on duty, and you've been in the sleeper for 5 hours, you're screwed.
Yeah.
If it's 7 or 8 hours, you're fine. You can do a split.
And you're required to be on duty while the inspection is being conducted.
Right.
Whether you're assisting or not, there's still a duty to be on duty.
That's right.
That was a lot of duty. Right? So, oh my God. Oh man. Talk about the ability of someone to be a total jerk face.
Yeah, but so Craig, Ohio. They do inspections at the rest areas, Charlie. You don't go that far in Roast, so you don't know that.
Right.
But yeah, they will. But here's what I've observed there, Craig, is they grab you as soon as you go in. Like I've been inspected at a rest area in Ohio. I'm like, hey man, can you use the restroom first? And he's like, all right, I'll be here when you get back.
Right.
Okay.
Don't take long, bro. Yeah. Army Cane, at a border checkpoint, they asked what I had, and I said Mexicans. 15 minutes later, they let me roll out.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've always wanted to do, Charlie, is I don't know, but the noise stopped about 20 minutes ago.
So many jokes, so inappropriate. I have talked to myself.
The thing is that I don't think there's
as well.
I think that I've known a few border patrol people, but and they're okay dudes. But I think if you're working at one of those checkpoints, you probably don't have a sense of humor, at least while you're working there.
Right. I bet it's gone after about 2.5 minutes at standing in the booth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that's legit. I mean, I get it. So I try not to joke around. I mean, when I have questions, I say things and maybe I say things I shouldn't, but I ain't throwing jokes around, bro, because I ain't got that kind of time.
Well, you remember there was that one, and it was a Swift guy. Hate to bust you out, Swift guys, but you know,
a company guy at that.
It was a company guy that they had to forcibly extract him from his tractor because he refused to answer the question. And dude, I don't know. Did you ever see the whole video on that one, Charlie? Because it's like a half hour long.
I saw bits and pieces of it.
So if you watch the whole video, you know, you can fast forward through parts of it because it's just them asking him, come on, man, give us a break, that sort of stuff. But they literally gave him a chance, go over there and park. If you want to talk to a supervisor, he's in that building right there. You could go talk to him and he will explain to you all this stuff. And he just flat wouldn't get out the truck. No.
You gotta take me, sucker. I'm gonna lock the door, put on my seatbelt.
Yeah. So they breached the door on a company truck. So he owes for that. They tase him.
Yeah.
And then they haul him away. I'm saying that that's not worth it.
And gets fired.
Right. Oh, I got all sorts of stories about yeah. Anyway.
Right.
But why? You know, again, you know, you see the videos of like the me in 15 years or so. I already have white hair, so I can't say the white-haired Jeff of the future. I already have white hair.
Right.
But you know, in your Cadillac, and you're just that guy with the handwritten note.
I'm holding up one finger, but it won't be this one.
You know, the handwritten note that according to this, and this, I am not talking to you.
So it was sketchy back because the first time Rosie came out on a truck with me, she was not a U.S. citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be very mindful about what I said because they could have completely blown things out of the water if I even came out of my face wrong, because she was required to carry that permanent resident alien card and present it upon request. And anytime she has interaction with Border Patrol, I mean, she was expected to just break it out. Right. And they could very easily detain her. And I did not want to catch the whooping that would have come because of my mouth causing her to be detained.
Yeah.
Now, after she became a citizen and she's a truck driver with me now, and she's got her own CDL, I'm like, look, you handle whatever you want to, you say whatever you want to say. I got your back. And someone asked me earlier, did you disclose your firearm? Anytime I've been required to disclose, I absolutely would. Some states require you to disclose, some states do not. Just saying.
That's why you need to know the laws.
That's right. USCCA with their reciprocity app is awesome because it tells me which states I have to upfront disclose and what states I do not. And Josh, you are not wrong, sir. We would not have any rules if people just did what they were supposed to do. That's why we have rules. I absolutely am one of the people that have created rules in the world for some people.
Yes, you have. I mean, yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
It's a fair statement, and I am not saying you're wrong. It's like, you know, we see these safety messages, you know, at big carriers that come out and say, oh God, and you're like, oh, it's one of these again. And they're like, okay, when it's icy, watch where you place your feet, use 3 points of contact so that you don't fall and bump your head. You know exactly what just happened. Some guy didn't look where he was stepping, hopped out of the truck facing forward like I normally do, not going to lie, and fell and bumped his melon. And now he's got a workers' comp case.
Yep.
And so they start pushing it because some joker like me, maybe, did a thing. It's legit. I mean, I ain't saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it happens. Is the Swift load board booked out with loads? I don't have access to the load board, so I can't actually answer your question, JF. So I can't answer your question. Maybe some of these other guys could. Hey, Mike, good to see you, buddy. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year, he said. Oh, that's so. Guy last week rolled past the brake check in Tennessee. What's the fine for that? Just disobeying a signal. I actually think the fine is posted on the sign, and I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
That on that big hill on coming down 24.
Yeah.
I think it's on there, and I don't think it's insignificant. Plus, you're going to be spending time getting an inspection. Full-blown deal. They're going to make you show up for court on that one, I think. Yeah, that would suck. I'm like, I mean, and I'm always baffled because, you know, every time Rosie and I come across that one, I'm like, absolutely pull in. She's like, but I'm like, no, pull in. What's it take us? 30 seconds out of our day? It's space.
Well, that you get to make fun of the dude under the little tent.
You know,
as you drive by. That's fun.
Yeah, there's just so many things.
Well, that one too, it's not like it takes you a whole lot of time. That one, if it's the one on 24, you got 2 lanes that you can use. If you want to stop and actually do your brake check, plenty of room to do it. I've taken a half-hour break there before.
Right.
There's 2 signs that say mandatory, not, hey, it would be nice if you checked your brakes. No, it says stop at this place. And so you got no excuse there.
I'm not going to lie. There are a couple here and there in certain places. They're just this little kind of turnout and it's all rutted and pitted. I am known to just kind of slow down and hit the brakes. Do they work? We're good. And I'll keep on rolling. I'm just not even pulling out the highway at some of those. I'm not suggesting you do this. Don't come back at me later talking about, well, Charlie said, no. You shut your mouth.
Well, if you're doing your proper pre-trips, the only thing you should be checking, like up on Donner or our Cabbage or whatever, right? What you really need to be checking is that trailer to make sure that you're not frozen up. Things are actually working back there. But you did your brake. You looked at your brake pads that morning, right?
Right.
I mean, you at least got the flashlight and did that thing, right? So you've already pretty much checked it. But some of those more dangerous ones, though, I'm going to say absolutely at least do a little with the trolley valve if you have one. Make sure those trailer brakes are working. My Western Star has one.
You ain't lying. So rest areas, they'd put up a free coffee sign. You know it's DOT inspection time. Oh, we'll get them in this way.
Well, remember the one up on the 90 going into Idaho? It has this big, beautiful rest area right after it, and they do that. They have that free coffee thing. You know, you make it past the scale, and it's a really nice rest area. There's some nice wilderness trails in there to walk in and stuff like that. You get back out to your truck, you might be having a little visitor, though. I'll tell you that.
Right.
They're pretty nice there, but still, it is kind of a thing, you know. If you stop there, you run the risk of them wanting to talk to you a second time.
Right. Happy New Year, Dennis. Good to see you, buddy. I just said my biggest regret is not going through one of those checkpoints. Is not going through one with my ex-husband. There's a thing.
Okay.
Brian Jess, Happy New Year to you. Or Jeff did it. Sorry. Yeah, Ida. I've seen so many people blow that brake check station and then have to use the ramp of stupidity.
Yep.
Oh, Oh man, is it weird? I want to hit a runaway truck ramp. I want to be that guy that they do in Idaho every now and again up above Lewiston. Because Swift got to do the last video that I'm aware of. They got a Swift driver to do it, to show what it's like and all that. And I want to be that, not in my truck, not in my truck. I want to do it in somebody else's truck. I don't know why. I think that'd be fascinating to hit that thing at like 80 miles an hour. Just freewheeling, man. Just pop it out of gear and go. See what happens. What's going to happen? Oh, man. Sorry, getting caught up on chat. Brian just said he's running Orlando to Phoenix and back for his next trip. Easy money to start the new year. Nice, man.
Nice.
That's definitely a good one. And that's the money right there. So that nice and flat and calm and mellow for the most part, other than construction. This already caught my eye. Rules are there to keep stupid people from killing themselves or others or pouring hot coffee on their privates. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't have hot coffee anymore because of that.
The little picture this shows someone pouring it in their lap with a circle through it. I'm just saying, why do we need
that's why you see guys, I see it mostly at pilots. They'll get the I think it's the medium cup that fits in the microwave.
Right.
They'll pour their coffee, then put it directly in the microwave for like 10 minutes. It's freaking boiling lava, and then they drink it. Whatever.
Oh, Lisa said I can do it in her truck on a runaway truck ramp. This will be fun. I'll do it. I'm just saying, I'm using your license too, but whatever. I could pass for a Lisa.
No, that's why you do it in Idaho, because there's no fine for hitting the ramps.
Right.
Just a tow bill.
And if you're lucky enough to be that guy they do every couple of years and they want to update their video, hey man, the whole thing is free. It's your one free shot because they cover the bill, that the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be fascinating to do. But yeah, so anyhow, so those checkpoint stations, they're a thing, but I'm still baffled by the lack of compulsion to assist in that inspection. I'm curious to see if anyone can ever find me anything that states different from a legal reference point, not some random, I read or some guy told me. And don't even come at me. Well, a DOT cop told me. I don't want to hear it. I need the printed format from a state or federal agency that states so. That would be acceptable to me, because I didn't see anything to it.
Oh, man.
Lance Calhoun, supposed to be 8 degrees in Arkansas next Tuesday, 3 days of ice and snow. So we were talking to our guy Tony this morning or this afternoon, and it was 8 degrees there at noon.
Yep.
Supposed to get down to minus 20,000 something tonight. And I'm like, yeah, no, man. No, just no. No.
Not a finger.
I can't do it, man. It hurts. It physically hurts. Hurts my brain. Oh, good thing I don't go that far. Midwest only runs. Nice for you. Look, I try to keep myself down in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. That's my limit. Or anywhere along I-10. I'll run anywhere along I-10, to include California, which is whatever.
Remember when they had to shut the pass down on I-8 because it froze? What was that, 2 years ago?
Right.
That was weird.
Ida, I don't like your statement. You take it back right now. I'm going to ban you. You said it's supposed to be down in the teens next week here. I'm not amused. It means
you can't cancel Ida.
I can cancel anyone I want. It's the American way. What's up, James? Good to see you. Florida has snow coming. Craig, I'm taking away your hammer. Why don't you have a hammer? You had a hammer. What happened? That's weird. Huh. I don't know why you don't. That's weird. because Craig was a moderator in the channel, but now it doesn't show him as a moderator. That's odd.
Maybe they changed something again.
Again, go figure. I got to change accounts to make that happen. I don't think I can do it. Let me see. Nope, I can't do it with because I'm on my Charley name, not the Contractor's Corner one. Maybe I can fix that. Anyhow, I'll try and play with that in the background. It'll be fun. What could go wrong?
Craig's another one that has a constant link to the actually be on the show.
Right?
Putting that out there. I think Ida's got one too.
Close this one, drag this one over. I like to pop out the chat, put it on a different window so I can track it, because I actually got the video running on another tab and it's just very distracting when I look over there. Let's see if I can do this. Now I'm curious. Yep.
Oh. James Vaughn's in there now.
There you go.
Kicking it down south. Matt said he lost his wrench too.
That's weird. So I gave them wrenches so that they could post links for us. And it was like a thing, and I don't even know why it went away. There, you guys have them back. You should be good.
Man, I'm tired today.
Right?
Ugh.
Look, I'm waiting for my Bustelo to kick in and whatever. I don't know why I just gave Craig a wrench when I said I was going to ban him. Dang it.
You're just full of contradictions today, Charlie.
I am just broken. Whatever. Yeah, I had to switch accounts to do that. I had to switch over to the Contractor's Corner one. It was odd.
I need that shades to be all the way down and those lights on.
I like the stripe look personally. I like how it highlights your lips. Well, half of your lips. Oh, good Lord. Because you love me. He said, I do, Jeff. I mean, Craig, I can't remember your name. That's how much I love you. Take that, sir. Oh, no, I slept till noon.
There you go.
I don't know when Jeff got up, but I slept till noon today.
I got up at 8:30 my time.
It was 11:58 my time because I had an alarm set for 12, just in case.
I was trying to get my gear all set up for this Zoom call, and Charlie wasn't answering his freaking phone. And I'm like, doggone it, he set this meeting.
Right, dude. Last night was weird, man. Like I said, I could not fall asleep. Absolutely. Yeah. And was just not tired. And I told you I didn't take my medication yesterday the way I've been taking it. So I've been developing this weird little system. And then I didn't take it. And then I'm like, woo, I'm fire. Although I was in a horrible death scroll mode, which was not helpful.
Right.
Now people want wrenches. No. How's that?
We aren't anywhere big enough to give everybody a wrench and watch the fallout.
Oh my gosh.
That is kind of fun on some channels, though.
Dude, watching it on Narc's channel, because any new person that pops in one of Narc shows, like he'll watch for him and try and catch him, and because he wrenches everybody, but everybody's got a dang wrench in there, and they immediately start hitting the timeout button, which can go, from like 30 seconds to like 9 days. It's weird because they'll stack up, and it's funny to watch. I mean, you're just like, bro, I can't even type anymore. I mean, they can whatever, they can watch, but they ain't talking to anybody in the chat. Who else has deliveries tomorrow? Wimpy wants to know. He says he has 2. I don't have any. No. I'm not going back to work till Thursday. I've been off for a minute. Been pretty happy.
I'm not going back to work. I'm not going back to work until at least Monday. We got a few medical issues that we got to sort out before I go back out. So
right. Life on 18 meals.
What?
Bah humbug. He said when I said no wrenches.
Hey man, it's our channel.
Hey man, it's all good. Nobody wants a wrench for real anyhow. Let's just be real.
Kalamazoo, Michigan. Yeah, the one time I did a circus move for Ringling Brothers was to the convention center in Kalamazoo, Michigan. That was interesting. It's the only time I've carried a flatbed spread axle. That was interesting. And then where they wanted us to park the trailers was even more interesting.
Right.
So I had maybe 10 years behind the wheel at the time, which made me the senior driver on that little expedition.
Oh, Lord.
And there was like 3 guys that just got off their mentor's truck. I had a student with me. And we're trying to get all these guys into this little bitty parking lot with spread axles. Swift guys with spread axles. Okay, imagine this. Swift dry van guys driving with spread axle flatbeds, right? Trying to get past the security gate into a parking lot that was supposed to be for cars. That's where they wanted us to stage the stuff.
Right.
And so I'm like out there all morning in the cold. It was wintertime. Just like, okay, dude, stop. You're going to hit the gate. Okay, back up. Go forward. All that stuff that you do, right? Man, I should have gotten paid extra for that.
Forgot to turn my phone down. Sorry.
So it's been a long time since I've done something like that, but I helped a guy back into a spot over Thanksgiving.
Nice.
That was like the one cool thing that happened to me while I was stuck in Atlanta for 5 days at freaking Thanksgiving. I actually had a guy, I was coming back with my doggy bag from the skillet, and he actually asked me to help. I'm like, hey, you know what? I can help you.
Nice. I'm amazed he asked for help.
I told him, I said, so it's probably been about 4 or 5 years since I've helped anybody back into a spot, but you asked, so let's do this thing.
Right. Between the two of us, we'll hit something. I mean, we'll get you in there.
Well, you and I have talked about this. The Petros, why it's all blindside backing is beyond me. It's stupid. You know?
I still think it's a holdover from back when their clientele was the contractor model. They really catered to
the real owner operators,
right? And they figured the company guys couldn't hit the blind side, so they just roll on by and not stop. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Wimpy said he's going to head out at midnight just to watch the accidents. So, like my carrier at Swift, they're like telling people to shut down between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. They do this every year on a couple of the holiday nights.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a few years.
I tend not to, because most of the loads that I run now, I mean, I get it. I is not telling anybody to run against those rules. But I'm not stopping, man. I look, since November 7th of 2008, I've been 100% on time. It's weird to me, but I really like that number. I like being 100%, not 99. I had a guy, well, I'm 100%, and it turned out he was like 99.7. I'm like, that ain't 100, bro. I got you.
Right.
I take pride in that thing. It's weird. And it's left over from the military, of course, because look, most of the rest of my life is a train wreck. I say we're leaving at 5. We don't leave till 7:30. Right. And before the Army, it was always like that. Oh, I'll be there at 4 and I show up at 7. Yeah, whatever. The Army's like, man, if you ain't early, you're late. And I take that into the trucking world. So if I'm not early, I'm late. And so that's the way I live. I don't know. It's weird. James said, as soon as the sun goes down, he's parking.
Yeah.
I feel you, brother. I have so much fun some days when I have to do like real hard trucking stuff. The stuff that some guys are just like, watch this. Man, there's some days I can't sight side, bro, let alone blind side.
Yep.
Charley
knows. I actually, when I have a successful blind side, I call Charley. I'm like, dude, I just blindsided. It only took me 3 pull-ups.
Yeah. Dude, I had one
That's a
like
good
2
day.
weeks ago, was a straight back, and I screwed that up. And it was like 100 yards of nothing in my way. Still managed to screw that up. Luckily, no one was around to see it. Rosie was asleep. Nobody saw anything, except I'm telling on myself now. Whatever.
Yep.
Whatever. I don't even know what to do, man.
People tell on themselves all the time, man.
Yeah, it seems to be a thing. I was checking out one of our viewers' channels. Sorry, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Hang on. I'm going to scroll back because I know you were there. Maybe you're still here. It's an interesting channel. I thought there's some interesting stuff on there. I may or may not agree with some of what I saw, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless. So I thought I'd throw a shout out. Trucking City Media. Pretty sure that was the one. Kind of like a news or current event type of deal. Has some panel type discussions from what I've seen. Haven't dipped real deep into your channel yet, but I'm gonna check it out, man. I just kind of poked around and peeked around, and I thought it was interesting. Again, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with anything. I tend to hold those statements within myself, especially when I'm doing the Contractor's Corner and Road Warrior Entrepreneur thing, because I think that from my business standpoint, nobody needs to know my politics. From a business standpoint, I know my politics. We can talk one-on-one and we can whatever, man. It's fine. As long as you ain't wanting to throw fists because I disagree, we're good. I can't deal with that. Back a pup. Look. So Target's got a couple pup trailers, right? And I remember the first night that I had to go pull one. Oh my God. That thing turns so damn fast. You think about turning the wheel and you're jackknifing. And you're like, what just happened? I don't even know where it went. I can't even see the back of it because it's not where I'm expecting to see the little lights, man. But then I got pretty good at it pretty quick. So I was like, that's all right. I could deal with this. And the fuel mileage on that thing was fantastic. So then I never could get another pup run again, but whatever. Because I'm like, I love it. And my buddy Steve's like, you will never have another one.
One per customer.
Just saying. Life on 18 wheels. We already know your politics, Charlie. That's right. If it fits, it ships. I don't even know where that came from, but there you go. I'm broken. See, Army King says, after enough time pulling doubles, you'd be able to back up a set. I watched this dude up in Oregon up there on what is it, 97, Jeff? Mm-hmm. Runs up from Weed, going the back way, and there's that pilot out in the middle of absolute nowhere. And I watched the dude back a set of triples from a blind side into a regular truck parking spot in a tight spot. And I thought that was damn near the most amazing thing I'd ever seen done in a big truck. Because he did it as if it were nothing. And then, I started thinking about the geometry of it. And it's really, okay, so with triples, it's really not that different than one. It's the same steering motion. Doubles, on the other hand, is with that extra articulation point. It's the reverse steering to make that second trailer do what you want it to do. It's a brain thing, and mine doesn't like it. Triples makes more sense to me because, granted, you've got 3 articulation points, but the rear trailer, the trailing trailer, does what a 53-foot trailer would do when you turn the wheel right. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Am I making it?
Yeah.
So that made sense to me. But I was amazed because this dude, because he had triples, they were little short ones, and he was able to get in this crazy tight spot because he didn't have the length of each trailer and was able to just snake that thing in. I was like, good God, that was freaking fabulous, man. No,
yeah, I haven't seen those triple 53s in a long time. Are they still doing that?
I don't even know. I thought
that used to be a big thing up on the New York to Ohio Turnpike up there on the 80.
I thought those are 40s or 48s or something, but I don't know. I know they do triple 53s. Where is it? Is it Texas? out in certain lanes. They do them. I don't
Do
know. I
they?
don't remember. I applied for a job in Australia.
Driving
I
train?
do double triples, meaning 653s or whatever their equivalent is, because I think some of theirs are longer. And tried real hard because I trained a guy that came from there to the US. He was a Russian dude. And he had a hookup out there, but it's really hard to get one of those jobs. Like it's like a freaking lottery, man. But I thought that'd be a neat experience.
Yeah, Rutherford used to have that dude from Australia call every once in a while that did that down there, and he was doing like overdimensional stuff up here. He was one of his Landstar buddies,
Right. I think that'd be fascinating, man.
Hey, you know, I pitched this to Joran. I have a movie idea, and it's all about a dude driving those Australian trains, and the tagline for the movie is "It's all about the load." And it's like some former special forces guy that goes down there to drive the land trains, and he's got something in his trailers, and he doesn't even know what it is, but the bad guys are after it. But damn it, he's going to get that load there on time.
Right.
That's a movie, man. Starring Joran Bean.
Yes. Our movie star. Love that guy. Army King said he backed to set into a dock twice and had to back out of a block gas station and around the corner. Yeah, that sounds fast. I'm amazed when people do that stuff. Like seriously. And what, I've been at this 20 years and I still find things in it and you go, wow, that was cool. I mean, look, every day there's like, God, I can't believe how stupid that guy is, right? That just is every day. I like when I find these things that are like, wow, that was cool. Like, I wish I had that skill, or I would love to be able to try that. You know? So like the truck rodeos, I've seen some really cool ones like down in South America. I don't know if they're Mexico or where. I know most people there were Hispanic in what they appeared to be, and all the talking was in Spanish. They have some fascinating truck type rodeos, man, because they do these things at high speed.
Right.
Like backing these courses with doubles around slaloms, and I'm like, holy crap, man. And I mean, they're just jerking stuff around. Clearly not driving as if they have a single pallet of eggs centered in their trailer with no securement, right? Because that's
right.
How I was taught to treat every load. Right. Clearly not, because they are slamming stuff around, but they're not breaking equipment. It just looks very woo, woo, woo. Stuff's just leaning and I'm like, man, that is fascinating. And the way that they do it, and the fact that they don't hit stuff, we got guys can't drive straight without hitting something. It's baffling to me. I don't even understand what happens. Army King said I was able to do 53s, not triples. Wimpy said 40,000 in each trailer plus 25,000 pounds with a bobtail, 150,000 pound load. It breaks well, right? Yeah. Can you imagine running big hills? I'm just saying. Lisa said Trans Am road test is a figure 8 forwards and backwards. That'd be fun. I think I could do that. I do I like driving around backwards. Like I have maybe gotten looked at or talked to several times because I may or may not have driven around a yard completely in reverse just to see if I could do it in reverse high back when I had a, splitter, just saying. Craig asked, have you talked to them about installing trolley brake handles again? Man, I wish. It seems like such a fundamental item, right? The trolley brake. I miss having that thing because it was. A lot of people were abusing it though. Like there's a lot of contractors out there. They would use that solely and never touch their truck brakes.
Okay, that sounds dumb.
I actually talked to quite a few people. They're like, yeah, I love my trolley brakes. Then I use up their brakes on their trailer. I'm like, you're kind of a dirty man, but whatever.
Western Star's got one.
They all have them. I think it's just an option. You know what I mean?
Oh, mine does. Mine has one. Yeah.
What? Shut up, man.
That was the one thing I hated about my 22 Freightliner. No trolley valve.
Right.
I was just like, what the heck,
your
man?
16 had one.
Yep. It used to just be standard, man. I think. That doesn't seem like it would be an add-on. But then again, I didn't think that air dump on the bags was an add-on either until Swift started ordering trucks without that, which I never did understand that. That's just dumb.
Sorry, I'm reading comments. Herman King said, I don't know what country, but they are jacking up the back of trailers to prevent cargo theft. That's crazy. Oh, Lance said Pete has a strange thumb-operated trailer brake. Freight shaker's better. I missed that old trolley. I had one on the first Volvo that I ever drove, and Freightliner after that. And then, gosh, I want to say, well, when I started leasing, I no longer had that option because I went to the first lease truck was a International, did not have it.
Really?
Yeah, went to T6. Well, and then I bought my Freightliner, and it didn't have one, and just never thought to install one. Apparently, it's pretty easy install, but I never got one installed. And then I went to a T680. It did not have one. My T660 did not have one, and then everything I've had since now doesn't have one either. It's a bummer.
Huh.
Because it was funny because I back when I had one, I mean, those things saved my butt a couple times on some icy spots on hills and things like that. Because, you know, that trailer starts to,
right.
You know, you can just, it's kind of like that little drag anchor that you might need every now and then. Just a little touch would straighten that sucker back out and get it back behind you instead of it trying to pass you on the left or right, you know?
So Chewy doesn't have a trolley valve?
No, Chewy doesn't have one, Lisa. Yeah, it's crazy. I know. And it baffled me because, I mean, especially, you know, 07 was a fairly common option, and it was even a contractor truck. It was a contractor spec truck at the time it came out new. It was an old CR England truck. So it really was kind of a head scratcher. But yeah, no, didn't have one. It bummed me out. And again, never thought about actually installing one because I don't know. I like spending money on other things. It's weird. I'm broken. It's like I never got my OPS put on it, right? Because stupidity.
You bought one though.
I bought one. I still got it in the box. Broken.
I still say you put it on the 25 when you get it and just not say anything.
Yeah, I'm just because I let them do all the servicing. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to get into that fight, man. Yeah, CR England's running Peterbilt again. Well, so is Swift now. Whatever.
Well, they've got what, 5 of them right now?
No, they picked up like 50, I think.
Did they?
And to my understanding, they're all company trucks. They got something like 25 or 50 Volvos of the new Volvo Model 2, and like 5 or 10 of those are going to be contractor trucks. That's what I understand it to be. Whether it happens, we'll see what happens. Swift waited for Jeff to leave. That's funny. It's Brazil, he said. That's where they're jacking up the trailers so people can't steal cargo. That's weird. Yeah, right. How do you know if the trailer brakes are good if you don't have one? Right. Well, you know, visual inspection. I'm just saying. That thing we're supposed to do every day. And periodically throughout the day. Just saying. Not going to say any more than that. Just leave it there. Pete's fridges look small in pictures. I think they have. I think it was them that had the pull out drawer fridge front as well. I don't like that design. It seems like it limits things.
Yeah.
It's probably easier to find stuff in the back of the fridge though. I do tend to lose stuff in the back of the fridge, and even in that tiny little fridge, because you got to get all the way down on the floor to get underneath the bottom shelf, because we stuff things in every nook and cranny in our little fridge, and I'm not getting on the floor, man. It's too far down, and my butt's too big or something, and I can't fit. Craig says Bobo has the biggest fridge. Whatever, Craig, fancy. Yeah, KW has the pull out too. Lisa said, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the Pete's that I saw, they did someone did a video of the inside of the new Swift Pete's, and they opened the fridge, and I swear it was one of the big pull out slidey drawer things, and it threw me off, and I'm like, whatever. Oh,
yeah. I mean, okay. It makes sense though, because they're both made by the same company. So
yeah. Kind of like Western Star and Freightliner, right? Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they make a fridge for the top bunk, short and fat? I like that idea, because I use my top bunk for storage. Like, could you imagine like a little 2-foot fridge with a forward opening doors?
Well, if you go to trucksfridge.com, they have any number of configurations, including full-size drawers that.
Really?
So in the Western Star, it's got a similar bunk configuration to the older Freightliner with the gap between the two luggage compartments.
Right.
And they actually have a pull-out freezer / refrigerator that fits exactly in that spot.
Really?
Yeah. It's like $500.
Right.
But truckfridge.com, guys. I mean, I've been leasing trucks for 18 years. I've bought exactly 2 of these refrigerators in all of that time.
Right.
They cost some money. Like the actual refrigerator that fits in the old style Freightliner, it's like $890, including the bracket. But I tell you what, in my 2016, it's still in there. It still works. It's still whatever,
I'd like a freezer other than that little sandwich box that's in my fridge now.
Yeah.
But look, with Rosie and I in there and all the crap we keep in there, I mean, look, we could probably get rid of half of our crap. Let's be real. But I keep stuff just in case we go, act like real truck drivers and head out on the road, because that could be like, a moment's notice, right? I'd like, get out of here. And so we keep all that stuff that we would need if we were actually working OTR in a real operation. And then, all the video stuff and computer stuff that I keep in the truck, so I don't have to pack stuff in and out of the house. And I'm like, man, I don't know. Not a lot of room.
Yeah. Well, that's, here's my plug again for owning trucks instead of leasing trucks, because I can do with my truck that I own a lot of stuff.
Right.
I can pull cabinets out and replace them with my own cabinets. We've seen some of our members that I have to tell them, look, man, if you turn that truck in, though, you're going to get charged, or you need to make it look like it did when you picked it up. So just know that if you're going to do it when you still owe money on a truck. But there's guys that have put full-size refrigerators in there and done the cabinetry around them and everything, got them secured. You could do that when you own the truck. Not an issue.
Right.
I'm famous for taking my passenger seat out because I'm not doing co-drivers. I don't team. We'll never team again. Donna doesn't come out on the road with me. We still have kids at home, so that's not happening, right? I have that big Iceco freezer there for all my keto stuff,
right?
Instead of a passenger seat. So when you're a company driver, though, and this is, people, why do people become owner operators? To have more freedom,
right?
And that's something that we really, really should talk more about, Charlie, is what freedom we're really talking about, because it sure as heck isn't home time. I'm telling you that right now. Not for at least for the initial couple of years while you're building your business. But you could do things like take the passenger seat out. Because unlike with a company truck, like I took it out of my 22 even, right? And put my big freezer in there. Well, when I left Swift, I knew I was turning the truck in. So you know what I did? I got a load home. I took everything out of that truck, put the passenger seat back in, and turned it in. Now with a company truck, they might want that truck back when you're in Atlanta and you live in LA. You don't have a chance to make things right, so you can't really do much at all on a company truck. So that is one of the distinct advantages of being, an owner operator contractor, is you could do some stuff. Just realize you got to look at your lease, your equipment lease. Charlie and I kind of joke about just put the OPS on the truck anyway, but by the lease agreement, that's not a fight that we're willing to have right now.
Right.
But things like altering the interior, hey man, as long as when you turn that truck in, unless you're going to buy it out, if you're going to buy it out, do whatever the hell you want. Come on, But if you make sure you keep all the stuff, anything you take out of that truck, keep it. Put it in bubble wrap or something, because you're going to have to put that back before you turn that truck in, if that's what you end up doing. And even if your plan is to pay the truck off, Charlie, it took me 3 trucks to finally get to the spot where I had ran my business well enough to actually pay a truck off, right?
Right.
So whatever modifications I made to the interiors of those trucks, I kept everything, thank goodness. Just put it in before I turned it back in. That's how I handle that. It's part of my personality, Charlie. I don't let other people dictate things to me. Right. I don't let people dictate how I'm going to live in my truck. Okay. If I need more space, I take the damn seat out, or I take a cabinet out, or whatever. But if I don't own the truck, I need to make sure that I can make it the same before I turn it back in. That's all I'm saying.
Jeff took the passenger seat out of his 22.
Yeah.
He had to put it back in. He was missing the mounting bracket.
Yeah, I lost it.
Something like that, right? It was like a whole thing. It was like, oh man. And they're like, don't worry, bro. We got one over here from a wrecked truck or something like that, which worked out great. But I mean, they literally could have tagged him, for whatever they wanted on that. And that's the crazy part.
Yeah, that's a $200 bracket, by the way.
I just said top bunk is a bad idea. In my opinion, you hit the brakes too hard just one time and it's on your head. Nope, I disagree. That's why we
not if you do it right.
Or bolts and washers and nuts. I'm just saying, I've got a lot of stuff above my bunk, and I am not afraid of it falling because I've got ratchet straps and such.
Yep.
Okay, half of it's going to fly and hit me, but it's okay. I figure I got a cabinet right behind me. It's going to hit the windshield. Whatever. Especially like 3 24 packs of Mountain Dew. That's going to be tragic, man. It's going to make me sad. They're all going to explode in the windshield in my face. I'm going to be drenched in Mountain Dew Zero. At least I won't be sticky since there's no sugar. Whatever. Wimpy said he bought a chest freezer. Took up a lot of space, but the $300 he spent saved him thousands in food costs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I mean, that by itself is good Lord. Hey, Life on 18 Wheels wants to know if you're ever planning on getting back in the 16, Jeff.
I'm up in the air about that.
Right.
It might become a project truck. Charlie will tell you how hard it is to get rid of something.
It is.
I spent, 8 years in that thing?
Yep.
Blood, sweat, and tears, paid it off, kept it maintained for an additional 2 years after paying it off. It's a good truck. There's some things Charlie and I have thought about doing with that truck and with Chewy. Mm-hmm. And I think that they're worthy projects if we ever get around to it.
Right. Maybe fun projects.
Yeah.
Army King, you ain't lying, sir. Halftime you hit the corner and the Freightliner fridge opens up halftime. For real. Like I'll look back and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Fridge is open. No. And luckily I've got long arms. Just got your chicken falling out, and now it's going to be bad before you can stop and put it back in. So that's my problem. I try to reach back and swing it shut, right? And something will be blocking it. And I'm like, oh, man. So I have two choices. Wake up Rosie, not what I want to do. Find a place to stop. And hopefully soon, right? And if there's not a place soon, I'm like, oh, man. Babe, baby, honey. What? Could you close the fridge, please, my love? It gets not really. That's the way
man, you need the sound effects like that guy we were watching the other day, man.
Right. Get over her. Matt's 2025. We've talked about it in the past.
So here's the thing: we think about going, and then it's like, oh crap, it's next week,
right?
And we don't have time to plan for it.
And our tens and tens of viewers don't qualify us for a media pass. Apparently, I heard someone recently talk about it, and you had to have so many followers and blah blah blah, or whatever, some sort of. And I'm like, our tens and tens ain't gonna cut it, so we're just going on the regular.
Well, we've got almost 1,600 followers. It's just none of y'all watch us live.
Right. But it's all good. We don't mind. I always find something else that I would rather do around the time of these gatherings. Right. Or I simply forget about it until, like Jeff said, it's next week. And I'm like, oh, crap.
Well, like this year, we were literally talking about it and we're like, well, when is it? So we looked it up and we're like, oh, it's in 2 weeks. Okay, well, that's not happening.
Right. We're just a little behind sometimes. Whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
It would be.
Luckily, I get to meet a lot of people in my day-to-day, because a lot of people filter in and out of this Target account. And sometimes people walk up to them and like, hey, Charlie, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, dude, whose face I don't recognize. You're awesome. And I feel bad because like Jeff, look, if Jeff sees you on Facebook, he's going to open up your pictures and see your face. He's going to know what you look like. He won't remember your name.
Right.
But he'll know what your face looks like. Me, I'll remember your name, but I have no idea what you look like because I've never bothered to look at anybody's profile pictures, really, even. It's hilarious. I don't know why. It's just a weird thing. Here you go, Wimpy. It's a thing, sir. I don't know why. I just don't. So like people will walk up to me and they'll be like, hey, Charlie, what's going on, man? You're cool. I like you. Or, hey, you jackass, I hated what you said. And I'm like, great. And they're like, I told you so in the show. And I'm like, who are you, bro? They're like, what? You don't know who I am? I'm like, I had no idea. I'm sorry. And then it becomes a weird thing. But whatever. It's fun. So I do get to run into a lot of people that way. That's fun. They need to do a truck show and a cruise ship. That sounds like an absolutely horrific idea to me. I do not want to be on a cruise ship with nothing but truck drivers. I love y'all. I can see some people being weird and the trucker bombs being laid about the ship. I don't know. No.
Well, if you go over to Landstar and you have a perfect safety record for the year, they do have an annual BCO cruise down there in the Keys. There you go.
Shut up, Army King. They're like, hey, Charlie, thanks for calling me back. Said no one ever. Whatever, man. Look, I
so I'm gonna put this up, but I'm gonna correct you. This is how Matt met me. This is how he met Jeff, not how he did Jeff. How he met Jeff.
Hey, now,
just saying.
Sexy time.
Yeah, I was with my buddy Jarrett, who is we bring Jarrett on the show sometime because he's my most successful failure of all time. I trained him, like 14 years ago, and he followed the same path as me, became a owner operator and a mentor, and he just got to a point where he had a Kenworth, go figure, Transmission blew out. Go figure. Swift wouldn't help him out. Go figure. So he went back company. But the dude is just like, yeah, I just had to do what I had to do, man. And we talked about it at length, and he just was not interested in staying in the ownership seat.
Right.
He's older than us though, Charlie. He's 63 now.
Right.
So he just doesn't put up with a lot of crap. He's like, nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
man.
I was with him and enjoying his new puppy he had brought out on the road with him, and then Matt comes up. He's like, "Hey, Jeff Morton," and you know how big Matt is. I'm like, "Hi."
And for Jeff, it would have been like this.
Yeah, pretty much. And then he started following me almost load for load until Driver Appreciation Week.
Right.
After that.
He just kept looking for the bungee cord. It was great. That's how Matt found him. He drove around truck stops looking for the bungee cord on the front of a Freightliner. He's like, "There's Jeff." Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Yeah, the really creepy one was in Jersey at the Petro, because I was doing the show live and he was like texting me, "I see you."
Right? I can see you, bro. You can hear the heavy breathing implied through the text, right?
Yeah. He still found me with the Western Star though. He's like, "Well, it's the only white Western Star with a panther on it." So,
right.
You know. Sharp guy, that Matt.
he'll hound dog you till he finds you, man. It's hilarious. I like it. Let's see if I missed anything. I'm gonna scroll back. Sorry. I can't even focus. Whatever. Oh, any of you got are any who's home? Any of you home? Got any big plans for tonight? Because you know what I plan on doing? Going to bed.
We're anticipating yelling at our teenager because she gets home later than we asked her to.
That's fair. That's fair. My daughter came home sick today.
We're just preparing for that right now.
Right.
You can come tell the people what you think of that.
Come tell the people.
Your 5 seconds of fame awaits you.
I'm not going to be late.
You could share with our tens and tens of viewers. Step right up. Some of them may take your side. I will, just for fun.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything yet.
Well, see, keyword, I keyed in on that. I don't know if you did, Jeff, yet.
Yep.
See,
We know. They all think that we were never teenagers. All of them.
I started every night going out as a teenager. Well, I ain't done nothing yet. Oh man, different times though, different world. I'm just saying, Gen X, the last feral people. Just saying.
Yeah, we are not New Year's Eve people, so it's never been a big thing for us.
I did New Year's in Vegas one year, and it was fun and terrifying all at the same time.
Was it?
Because I took the family.
Oh,
whole nother world. And Richie and I both were just, dying from anxiety because you're literally walking down the street. And you know how wide the strip is. You're literally curb to curb all the way across the street at one point where you are just shouldered up and people don't care. And it got to the point where I was throwing elbows, man. I'm like, y'all better back up. And like, people were getting stuck behind, like in the corners of gates because the gate was swung open and somehow funneled in there. And you're like, what the hell, man? And, Captain Save-A-Ho, I'm going to step in. I'll save you. Oh, God, bust me in the face with it. Whatever. Can't help myself. And God, it was absolutely brutal. And then at the same time, oddly entertaining and I enjoyed the crap out of it. It was weird.
Huh.
It was such a mental conundrum for me because number one, I don't deal with crowds well anyhow, because I feel compelled to watch everybody's eyes and everybody's hands around me in every corner, in every direction around me. Can't do that there. And then you start hearing pops, and you're in such a deep crowd, you can't tell, is it a gunshot? Is it a bottle popping? I don't know. And to be honest, on that night, I was not carrying because it's not a great idea in that situation because there's too many people touching you too close. You know what I mean? That's like
Right.
one of those nights where you put, your ID and your money in your front pocket, tuck it down there in your junk pretty tight. You know what I'm talking about? Just to keep it away from anybody sliding their hand in their pocket. Right. And, man, I couldn't imagine having a firearm. I would have been a nervous damn wreck because it would have been way too easy for people just to pinch it and walk off, Oh. Lance said, no plans. Homies, no plans. Wimpy said, took a week off for Christmas. The bills need a paying. Absolutely. Lisa said, squirrel. Charlie puts the fun in dysfunctional. I don't know.
There you go.
It's fun for other people, I think. I try to make fun of it. I've got my moments where I'm just like, woo, let's go. It's going to be one of those nights, man. I don't know what to say. It's probably a good thing I don't drink much anymore. There was a night down there in the downtown Disney. Is called something else nowadays, I think. I don't know. They got a bunch of clubs down there, like 21 and over clubs. And I was on this at this place called Mannequins on a revolving dance floor drinking tequila. I'm just saying, I spent quite a bit of time dancing with a portly Mexican man.
Nice.
Who was pretty sure I was going to be his girlfriend.
Oh.
But he kept giving me tequila. I'm like, well, bring another, sir. Let's dance another one. It was tragic watching me try to get off that spinning dance floor because I swear that thing was sped up. And I saw the door coming, and I'm like, all right, here it comes. Line up. Bam! There's the wall. Missed the hole. There's jokes in that. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Good for you, Charlie. Oh, did we tell you that Donna figured out a way to automatically bleep you on the replays?
No, that's fantastic, though. That's probably a good thing. That's probably a tool I need on my keyboard or something. I need a button, but like, boop. Oh, my bad. A little delay like they have on the radio station, like a 10-second delay.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, good Lord. Because sometimes I struggle, and it would be easier just for me to hit that button, but it would take me like the first 5 minutes of the show, and I'd have the 10-minute delay already used up.
Yeah.
Just because I knew I had it there, I'd be like, bleep, bleep, you bleep, bleep, Jeff, you bleep, bleep, bleep. And I'm like, oh man, I used it all up already. Whatever. Fanny pack. So I actually saw a guy get pinched from his fanny pack.
What?
In a real deep crowd. It wasn't in Vegas. I can't even remember. I think it was at Disney. And I watched this guy get something snatched out of the wall. I mean, and I said something. I got involved. It was cool. I'm not a total jerk. But yeah, dude didn't even know. And the guy was slick. Like, I was impressed by his skills because I was like, dang, that's kind of bold, man. I mean, it's right there in front, and it's attached to his, and he had a jiggly belly too. And I'm like, how did you not feel that, bro? And he's like, what? I'm like, I don't know, man. He like touched skin and everything somehow. It was weird. But he got it. And I was like, man, yeah. So flash forward into my trip to Vegas. I was like, nope, can't carry there for this one. Normally I carry pretty much everywhere I go, even in Vegas. Never been approached. Haven't had anyone come say anything to me yet. The casinos can ask you to go put it away. That's a legitimate request. And you have two choices. Go put it away or leave the facility. Whatever. But I haven't had anybody do it. And I know inadvertently I've had pistol show from time to time. I actually had a security guard walk up behind me one day, tap me on the shoulder. Hey, man. You might want to fix your shirt. Oh, thanks, bro. Come on, 7. Oh, it was a thing, whatever. Very cool. My brother-in-law, on the other hand, was shopping at one of the downtown Disney stores and had a member of staff and a deputy sheriff walk up to him very calmly. "Excuse me, sir. Could you please take your firearm and go store that in your vehicle?" He's like, "What the heck, man?" And he texted me. He's like, "Hey, can they tell me to do it?" I'm like, "Absolutely. On that property, they can. They have a weird rule over there, and they can absolutely tell you. All you got to do is just go put it away.
Right.
Lock it up. It's fine. No big deal." I mean, I'm weird about leaving a firearm in a vehicle, though. I'm like, that's the day someone's breaking in, and
Right.
if you have a lockbox, I feel like they're going for that first somehow, and I just feel like my luck is not great there. I don't know. It's weird. So I try not to go a place where I just can't carry. But like the Vegas trip, I locked it up. It was in a safe, so I didn't care. I was like, whatever. But yeah, and he's like, "Can they do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, they can. Just go put it away." And they were real cool about it. And they were smart about it. They walked up with a member of staff and said, "Hey, we have no firearms policy on the premises, and we have an agreement with the state and the county and blah, blah, blah." And typically they a lot of places don't enforce things like that. But the Disney properties have some sort of weird exception to that rule. And I guess I get it. Amusement park property, even though he was in kind of a shopping area, not in one of the parks, but I don't know. Yeah, they were just real cool about it. And it was because he had squatted down. And this was the thing. There wasn't even an employee near him that saw the print on his shirt. Camera got him. They got him on a camera.
Dun, dun,
Saw the
dun.
print. I mean, it was never exposed. Like there was no grip or shiny bits showing. They saw the imprint under his shirt, and then sent staff and a deputy out there just to go, very calmly, quietly, "Hey man, can you put that away?" He's like, "Okay, bro." It was a weird thing. I'm impressed. I really wanted to go work Disney security. Like for a while, I was like, I really want to go work their stuff because they have a fantastic security program, I think. They're a little tyrannical at times, but it would be fun to be like a security guy, walk around with the Mickey head. Is that weird? Be fun. Mission Impossible. Whatever.
I'm thinking they would have made you a Fiona.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I like it. Oh, well, there you go, Lisa. That's awful nice of him. Just had a random Indian guy call her and ask if she wanted to work from home. Well, that's a nice way to start the new year. I'm sure that's totally legit, and you'll make billions and billions. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, just make sure you give them all of your account numbers. Otherwise, you won't get all the money.
And just for fun, set up a security question like, what was your first pet's name? What high school did you go to? What was the street you lived on as a child?
Yep.
I love when I see those questions. Like it was used
On
to be
Facebook.
Yeah, super prevalent on Facebook. Like, "Hey, what was your first street you lived on?" Right? Just like a weird post. And you're like, and I saw these people posting it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, these people are fishing.
Yep.
And I'm like, and then there was, like every day, you'd see 2 or 3 of these things. And I'm like, these are all like those secret questions to accounts and stuff.
Yep.
"Hey, what year were you born?" And I'm like, man, how many databases are out there that have all this info, right? Oh my God, it's got to be tremendous.
Well, even like they could extrapolate it, like the question of, "Hey, what was your first car?"
Right?
People will say, like 84 Chevy something. Well, now they know that you had to be at least 16.
Okay.
Right? It's pretty sneaky, man.
Look, people are dirty, and they will go to crazy lengths and use some crazy technology to get you one way. How do we end up here? That's funny, but that's great. I just always thought it was crazy watching those posts on Facebook. I'm like, man, why are you people answering this now? I caught myself once feeling like I was compelled to answer, and I typed it out. I'm like, that legitimately is one of my secret questions on one of my bank accounts. What are you doing, stupid? Stop typing backspace, backspace, backspace. Scroll on. Like, good God, man. You get in that, midnight madness moment in your head and you're like just not thinking, and you see like 19 of your friends commented on it and you're like, oh, I'll share. No, stop it. Whatever. Well, I just want to say I hope you all have a fantastic new year. And I'm really looking forward to 2025 being an interesting year, but I think it's going to be a much better year overall. I think that I'm going to be able to find more ups that I can focus on versus the downs that my brain seems to be focused on from last year or this current year that we're ending. And so, it's kind of a shifting in my own mindset partially, I think, right? We tend to dwell on bad things a lot of times. I think it's just a human nature thing. They say that if you like really do some data analysis on like your last 12 months, if you had like a journal that showed all the good things and all the bad things, typically there's far more good for most people, for the majority of people, far more good. Yet they will key in on those few bad things and just dwell on them, right? And just completely let it dictate and run the brain. And I really want to make a concerted effort to, and this isn't a resolution, it's just a mindset shift for me a little bit, because I used to be really good at that, finding the positive, finding the good, not to the detriment of not seeing the bad things, but just putting them into perspective. And there's far more good things than bad things, right? It's just like with people, there are far more good people out there than bad people, but we focus on all the bad people because reasons. But that's what I'm looking forward to this year. I don't know about you, Jeff, what your big focus is this year as far as, your personal life. I know what our business stuff is, but your personal life or things like that, that's where I'm going this year. I think, I'd really like to.
So I'm actually going to start asking people questions tomorrow, live on Facebook. So look for that. So here's where I'm starting my process this year is, you and I are really into the whole success thing, right? We think everybody should be as successful as they possibly can be and just zip up the ziggurat, right?
Right.
So most people look at it as, hey, I'm climbing that ladder of success. I got to get to the top of that mountain, that wall, whatever. So Charlie, who gave you your ladder though? Is that ladder even standing up against a wall that you want to climb?
Right.
Or are you just doing it because, hey, the Joneses got that new Chevy last week. I really like that Chevy. I need to get me a Chevy.
Right.
If we've gone for decades and decades, probably all the way back, the Keeping Up the Joneses moniker is actually from about the 1960s. Man, we take our cues from social media these days, Charlie.
Right.
We see these celebrities that don't care about you. Hell, they don't even care about themselves half the time.
Right.
They're just doing whatever for that next bump, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
We get all of this input into what success is. But what do you think success is? Charlie and I talk about this all the time.
Right.
My definition of success is absolutely not the same as Charlie's. I think he's nuts. And Charlie's like, what are you thinking?
Right.
That's
the beauty of it.
But that's the thing, so what I'm focusing on is really getting back to that. What does success look like for me? Is the ladder that I'm climbing even appropriate to where I want to be in the future? And if not, why not? And how can I change that? This is for me personally, and you guys can follow me along on the Facebooks, because that's where I'm going to be doing most of this stuff. You can follow along with me on it.
On the description down below.
This is going to be a pivot year for me, I think. And you guys that follow us and listen to us, you can watch me do that step by step over the next 12 months. I'm going to be pivoting. I'm going to be doing some new things. I'm trying to drag Charlie along with me, kicking and screaming, but he's all right. He's into it. But yeah, we're going to pivot on the business side, and personally, I'm finding myself needing to have a pivot year.
Right.
I've been doing the same thing for 18 and a half, almost 19 years, Charlie.
Yeah.
You know, I've been talking to people about that, and man, that's a long time to be out here on the road. Long time. I've had my successes. I've had my years where I almost lost everything. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting year. I think it's going to be a better year than the last about 18 months.
Right.
Both financially, spiritually, and everything for us. Because here's the thing, we're seeing the market, what we do, the freight market, we're seeing it start to rebound at this point. You know, I know that there's the detractors out there. Wimpy, I don't want to hear from you right now. You're going to kill my bus. But I get it. You know, there's always going to be skepticism. But I really think we're starting to see the market turn. And we're going to have a much better year from that perspective. You could make that just a little better, though, if you're looking for opportunities. Right? You know, what's the biggest thing that we've learned in the last 2 years, Charlie? Looking for opportunity out there.
And being able to act upon those opportunities, being in a position where you can act. Because we've had a lot of opportunities thrown at us that we could not act on.
Right.
And when we looked back on them, we're like, dang, that would have been beautiful.
Yeah. So, you know, is Swift going to lose Charlie? Probably not. Lisa, I wouldn't think so. Not right now, anyway.
Yeah, there's no plans on that. I'm actually talking about swapping trucks out in February, personally. That's my plan right now.
Right. So, yeah. Yeah, Chris, if I turn in my keys, I'm hoping it's by choice and not because the doctor didn't give me a card as well.
Right.
Yeah, I've had a couple of bad scares the last couple of weeks, so I need to get that checked out. And then we'll see how that turns out. That's why I'm not going back to work until at least Monday, because I need to get with my doctor about some stuff. Get the old A1C checked again, see if those new meds are working or not. So yeah, for me, Charlie, it's going to be a pivot year. I'm going to be focusing on the pivot and working with you and Josh, our personal coach, is going to be involved in that and what I do in the next 12 months. And then you guys are going to see it. Right now, our tens of followers, most of you are involved with our school community. We did finally, for those of you that followed us for years, you know, we've tried this and tried this and tried this. And we think that school.com is going to be the one that we can make work. It's just so much simpler than any of the other things we've tried. And, you know, we're just dumb truckers, man. We're not IT professionals. And so the hurdle for us has always been, oh man, we got to get this thing going. How do we do? I don't know. Charlie, do you know? I don't know.
Right.
And this one is just so doggone simple. I think we can actually run this one.
And we've got some good people helping us in the back, and you know.
Right. So yeah, if you haven't signed up for school yet, it's this was not free, folks, and there's a reason for that. You know, if you're ready to get to the next level and start growing your business for yourself, if you're tired of the paying for a job instead of owning your entire business for yourself, if you're tired of that type of dynamic, join us over at school.com. Charlie, if we have the link to that, you can get that up. It's going to run you $47 a month, or remind me, Charlie, what was our yearly? It was
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's 15% off if you do the whole year. We're bad people because we don't even know what we charge for stuff. But you know, and you get in there, and we've already done 2 of our live Zoom chats that we're going to be doing every single month. So the first month we talked about getting down and dirty into what habits you need for success. And then we followed up with solidifying your vision for your future. And then this coming up month, we're going to get our coach Josh to do a special training for you guys that are in the group called The Best Year Ever. And this is one of those actual, like, if Charlie and I were to go to this class, it would cost us $2,000 to go to this class.
Right.
And he's doing this.
We've done in the past.
We have done that in the past. And they're always great trainings if you do something with them. So what Josh has offered to do is do this for our group of people, gratis. He's going to do it for free for the people that are in the school community. We just so you guys know, because I don't want people thinking, "Oh, you dirty bastards,"
Right.
That thing. We are going to promote it outside the group because we're trying to do some things in a broader sense as well. So you might see people during that event that, hey, you're not a truck driver. Don't worry about it. They're just there. They're there for the learning as well.
Yep. Business people that want to start businesses, things like that. So, that's kind of the deal when you work with these people, though. He's like, yeah, I'll do it for you for free, but we gotta broaden the reach, man. We gotta get some people involved here. Right.
Okay, well, let's do that. And you're going to see a lot more of that from us over the next year too. We're really harping on you guys to look for these opportunities. I'm to the point now that I've seen what the power of a small fleet really is, Charlie.
Yeah.
I'm going to encourage you guys. We're already talking to several of our members. How do we get you more trucks? How do we get you to be a fleet owner? So that you could get to the point to where, okay, you're driving because you want to. Okay, if you want to.
That's me. I want to drive you.
By the time you got 10 trucks with drivers and you're managing that business, now you can do something completely different, something that maybe is way above what you ever thought you would be. And that's exciting. Let's get you outside that comfort zone. Let's get you to grow. If you're just the one truck guy or gal, okay, that's what I've been the whole time. Charlie was a fleet owner for a little while, got tired of having employees. What we're bringing to you is a way to do it slowly over time. Charlie, I'm not going to recommend people buy 5 trucks next month.
Right.
We're going to do this one truck at a time, and we're going to do it slowly, and we're going to do it right. Because what we want for you guys that want to be fleet owners, we want to get you to that place in the next 5 to 10 years where you're no longer working in your business.
Right.
You got people for that. You got the right butts in the right seats.
Your business is working for you.
And then you could work on your business. Building those relationships with carriers. Maybe you start at Swift. Maybe you start at Landstar. Maybe you start at Panther. But man, by the time you got enough trucks to where you could back off and the business is working for you and you're working on your business, I've always wondered what it would be like to have one of those FedEx contracts. I'm going to fly out there to Memphis and talk to them because I can do that.
Exactly.
I'm not going to do emails. I'm not going to make phone calls. I'm going to go talk to those people. That's the power of really building your business up. One truck, nothing wrong with it. I want people thinking that we're leaving people behind that are the one truck guys. We're not. We just want you to see the potential.
Right.
And then if you look at that and you're getting excited about it, join us over in school. We're going to be going over things over the next year that are going to absolutely help you get that going for you and get you to that next level. And here's the cool thing, Charlie. Just like with my question, who gave you that ladder? I'll give you a ladder, but I'm not going to tell you which wall to put it up against.
Right.
That's up to you. Charlie's wall is not Jeff's wall. But Charlie helped me build the ladder.
Absolutely.
So that's my thing. You asked, so that's what you get.
I like it, bro.
You let me loose,
man.
You let me loose.
I like it. I love when we do. One thing I forgot to talk about, Jeff, at the start of this thing, when we were talking business, right?
Right.
Insurance guys, for you guys out there on Seabright Insurance, over the next couple of days, maybe a week or so, you might want to give Seabright a call. If you're on the Seabright policy, I believe we have until February, the end of February, before our policy renews. But take the next week or two to get in there and reach out to Sandy or whomever it is you deal with at Seabright, and maybe check on your truck's value to make sure you're insured properly. Because remember,
Right.
values decrease, and we get to make these changes once a year with Seabright, guys. Another little update, if you're on sorry for the Swift guys. I know some of you guys don't want to hear about Swift, but whatever. We do have quite a few Swift guys. So you get Swift guys. If you're looking at making this transition from company into contractor, my understanding is Swift will not allow you to a la carte any of their insurance policies. It's either going to be an all in or all nothing. So keep that in mind. Keep Seabright in mind. I would absolutely say shop for insurance. I don't think Swift is the best possibility out there. Keep in mind that a carrier's insurance is designed to protect them and cover them. It's issued to them. Whereas a policy outside would be issued to you and protects you. And that's the importance here. It also creates that separation with the AB5 stuff, which makes the carrier happy overall because they don't have to worry about you coming back and suing them for some nonsense. I don't know what the fuel surcharge is. I will peek real quick, Army Kane. Let me pop that up.
You know, fuel went up, what, 2 cents this week?
Yeah, something like that. Let's see. 12.30 is the national average is at $3.503. So going with the contract, let me scroll. See, look, I got this at my fingertips, yo. I just got to scroll 19 pages to get to that page. What did I say it was? 3.503. So we are looking for you Swift guys at 0.364 cents on the fuel surcharge. I'm not doing the math for the West Coast. You can figure that out. Do it yourself. Dang it.
It's $1.
I wish. Good Lord. I'd be like, I'm going to Cali tomorrow. Bye, Ida. I'm dead heading to Cali just to grab a load back to New York, to Maine. You know, good Lord, I'd do it then. It's worth it. I'll leave the pistol at home. We'll be all right. But yeah.
So
yeah. If you're interested in joining that community, you can go to rwdrive.com to go through the sign up. It'll process it and all that stuff, and you'll get a link to get into the school community and all that stuff once that happens. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head, man, the numbers. You know me. Dollars. It's weird because I focus on numbers on our trucking businesses so tightly, and then I base on that. Whatever, I'm broken. Jeff, it does not amuse Jeff at all. Anyhow, with that being said, you guys, we're going to cut this just a couple minutes early. You know what? Happy New Year's to you all. I wish you all nothing but the utmost success and happiness this coming year. I'm optimistic for what is coming, whether it be from us, be from our country, be from the world, the universe, the galaxy, what have you. I think this is going to be a good year. I think there's going to be a couple of tough spots in it, but I think if you persevere and keep at it, things are going to be great this year. Just going to throw it out there. That's my prediction for the year. I think overall we're going to see a banner year possibly, or lead into what will absolutely be deemed a banner year following, if that's the way it wimpy World War III. Stop it.
Yeah, not a whole lot I can do about that, though. I try to focus on stuff that
Exactly.
I can do.
I'll figure out a way to ship products around. I don't know. Ismail, good to see you, buddy. We're about to wrap this thing. So if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you go down there and drop some comments to answer some of the questions that we asked throughout the show today. Share your thoughts, your feelings, whatever. I'm not even wearing my F Your Feelings t-shirt today. I'm wearing the Bearded Wonder. Oh, anyhow, that's tippy toes. I don't do that well. Anyhow, auto sales are crashing, whatever. I'm not worried about auto sales personally right now. Jeff, final word, man. Throw it out there.
Just remember, with no action, there is no traction, guys.
We're going to call that a wrap. We'll see you guys here next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, like every Tuesday. Happy New Year's, guys. We're going to get back to some real topics again, I think, next week. Jeff and I got some other stuff we got to work on. And yeah, we'll see you guys here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. You're awesome. Thank you for being a part of our community and spending time with us every week.